Good morning.
Good evening, good
Yep.
morning, good afternoon, wherever you are, brothers. It is your dude, Mr. International Passport, here again for yet another classic video slash stream. Hope you brothers are doing well all around the world. I want to say first and foremost, when you come in the stream, please press the like button. And before I speak any further, can you please press a one in the chat if you can hear me loud and clear? How is my audio? Am I coming in clear, crisp, and concise before I go any further? Want to make sure that this stream is a great experience for you. How is my audio? Okay. Thank you, Kazi. Thank you, Michael Watkins. Appreciate you, brother. Let's carry on. So, brothers, welcome to another classic live stream. I want to say first and foremost, thanks to all those who have supported me over the past couple of years. Your support is greatly appreciated. Please continue to support me. And if you're new to the channel, I accept and I embrace you with open arms. So when you come in, please like the video, cop the merch, hit the super chats, and of course, hit the PayPal too. And join the Patreon to change your life for IT consultations, for explicit intel on foreign women, Japanese women, and beyond. Let's get straight into it. So, brothers, in this stream, I have a very special guest here with me called Mr. Indy 67, who is currently living in Japan. Um, and of course, he has experience living in Japan, dating a Japanese woman, and he's here to give us that experience about life in Japan as a black man, what it's like being married to a Japanese woman, etc., etc. So let's get straight into it, bro. How you doing, Mr. Indy?
I'm doing pretty well, IP. Doing pretty well. It's a early morning for me, about 11 a.m. It might be a little late for some other guys, especially depending on where you are in the world. But it's doing pretty well. It's a little nippy today. Today is going to be a little bit colder than what it has been normally.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. So, Mr. Indy, do you mind giving us a brief intro about yourself, who you are, where you're
Okay.
from, and anything special about you, brother?
I am I was born in the United States, Gary, Indiana. I grew up there. I started doing software development, from the 80s. I'm 56 years old at the moment. I currently live in Nagoya, Japan, but I moved from the East Coast to the West Coast and then here to Nagoya. I study martial arts. I'm actually looking to do more studying while I'm here in Nagoya, but I study wushu and not karate. So I study Chinese kung fu. So it's always interesting. But there is someone here in Osaka that I want to connect with that I met through. If you guys ever heard of Black Experience in Japan, from that guy's channel, there's someone I met through that guy's channel who I'm trying to connect with to do some of that here. I primarily do a lot of work remote for a company in the United States and basically just trying to learn as much as I can about Japanese culture and experience, where I am as much as I can.
Awesome. Great intro there, brother. Great intro. And there'll be more intel on what he does on the Patreon. So look out for that in the future, brothers. So let's get straight into it, brother. You're currently living in Nagoya, Japan, which is awesome, right?
Yep.
How did you get to Japan in the first place, brother? Let's start with that.
Okay. I married my wife about 10 years ago, and we kind of moved to Seattle area so to be close, so she can be closer to visit her mom in Japan. This is like a shorter flight, so it's like 8 hours from Seattle to Nagoya. So you go to Nagoya. Sorry, you go from Seattle to either Haneda or into what's the other airport in Tokyo. So you go from 8 hours to there, then you take another 45-minute flight from there to Nagoya. So it's just like a shorter trip for her. But her mom passed away about two years ago. And so me and my wife were just thinking, and I was telling her, I said, well, she's not doing too well after that, after her mom passed. I'm like, she needed to be around her own people so she can heal and deal with some of the stuff that she was dealing with. So I told her, like, well, it's hard for us to like buy a house in Seattle where they're like $1 million. And it was like for us, it was like me, I was pretty much the primary breadwinner, and I wasn't making enough to spend $1 million on a home. I mean, let's be honest. I make money, but it's like not that kind of money. So I told her, like, you know what? Let's move to Nagoya. We have a home here. Her mom left her two apartments, so we decided, like, well, we can live there. I can work remotely, and that way I can save money if we want to buy it in the future. We'll have enough for a down payment, and then we can buy something and go from that point of view. So we basically packed up everything. I sold my car. She sold her car. Put all my stuff in storage that I was going to keep. So we weren't going to keep. And then the biggest hurdle we had was bringing over my dog. So if you ever had tried to bring an animal over to Japan, you realize, especially a dog, is you have to have all her rabies shots, all their rabies shots. And they have to go through something like a titer test, which is like almost $400. And your process starts about 6 months before you leave. So once you do that, you have to let them know when you're coming, the day you're coming, the flight you're coming on, and then you have to let them know, what was it, 10 days before, I think it was 20 days before, and the day of. You have to fill out all this paperwork. So that was a nightmare by itself. So me and my dog flew over, my wife flew over first, but me and my dog flew over after that. And we just set up shop, right here in Nagoya. But I've been here before, so I kind of like it. So for me, it wasn't like a big culture shock until I got here. Then you start dealing with all the culture shock stuff.
Awesome, buddy. This is awesome. So so going on from that, brother, right? So let's peel it back a layer. Let's rewind it back as if we're as if we're rewinding a very important scene in the movie, right? So your life in America, how was that like? So where were you in America, and was that a big change when you went from America and Japan? Do you miss America, or was Japan the spot for you? Break it down for me, bro.
Well, my life is different than most people in America because like I said, I spent 15 years in the government space, as you would say, the national security space. Different world. And when I got out of that space and moved to Seattle, even though they say it's liberal, is not as liberal as you think. Where I live is more of a suburb, and a friend of mine that I've known who worked for Microsoft with me, he was basically saying he moved down to a southern part of the area of Seattle. He said he just wanted to be in a more diverse area. After a while, living where I was living, I realized what he meant, because you start experiencing things I never experienced on the East Coast. So the East Coast, you have more African Americans and more communities that of color. But in Seattle, the Washington area is like 70 to 80% Caucasian. So I start experiencing the issues of people following you in the store, people having attitudes. And especially during the election time, I started seeing these right-wing, nutbags and the white supremacists doing some of the most craziest stuff, like driving up and down the street with these big Trump flags, carrying assault rifles in their windows of their trucks, and walking around packed. And I'm like, okay, I am not armed and I'm not dealing with this madness. So, just telling my wife, like, the stuff that I was seeing, like, we're seeing all the stuff that's going on. Then we start dealing with package thieves and crime. And then I would call the cops, and the cops would treat me like I was the one committing the crime. So I was like, all right, there's enough of this madness. So I told like, we need to move, either go south or we're going to go to Japan. And I said, I think it'd just be better if we just go to Japan. So once I get to Japan, a lot of that stress that I had, a lot of the anxiety I had, it was gone. You probably hear sirens now, but I don't have to worry about the cops running up on me. I don't have to worry about some nutbag running up on me. The worst I get is stares, because I'm a gaijin, especially a black gaijin. And there are not a lot of us here where I am right now. You probably see a speckle of white people around, but you don't see a lot of black people around. You see mostly people from Africa in different countries, but you don't see a lot of African Americans where I am. And this is truly what we call the concrete jungle.
Wow, amazing, bro. So let me ask you this, brother, right? And Nagoya, Japan, not really a popular destination for brothers or even international travelers in general. It's mostly Tokyo, Osaka. So my first question to you, brother, is this your first time being in Japan, or have you been to Tokyo before, Osaka before? Break it down for us, bro.
It's not my first time. When we first got married, we came here to visit her mom. But it's like my 5th time being here. So I've been to Tokyo. I've been to Yokohama. I've been to Kyoto. I haven't been to Osaka yet, which is on my list, and that's where my friend is living at the moment. And plus here, visit a lot of like different castles. Been to like a different resort. I can show you like different foods that I've eaten. I kind of start eating more of the Japanese food. But where we are is like you can walk 5 minutes and you're at the mall, and which makes it great. But everything is like a restaurant is every 5 steps from you. So where I live in the condo complex I live in, I can literally walk right across the street and go to a restaurant and eat some type of food, either Indian or American or steak or whatever, Around the corner, I can get ramen. Around the corner again, I can get any type of sushi. On the other side, where I bought my bike, I can pick up sushi and some great food, which we had last night. Yakitori, which we had last night, that was great in a very nice restaurant. Also, just going to a bar, you wouldn't recognize these bars if you didn't know they were there because it looks like someone's house. But just that closeness where we can walk everywhere. And that's the thing. I don't drive anywhere here. I walk everywhere here.
Damn, amazing, bro, amazing. So let's compare the quality of life to from America to Japan, right? So America is the top economy in the entire world, has the most money, etc., has bragging
Right.
rights essentially. So you would think that okay, the quality of life there should be great for black men there in particular.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
brother, when you compare the quality of life of your life in America and your life in Japan currently, which country is giving you the better quality of life? And tell me why, brother. And be
Well,
real with me.
I would say that Japan gives me the better quality of life. And I would say from a point of view of food, stress, less stress. And when it comes to opportunities, if you know the language, then you have better opportunities. But it's different for us in the software development field, and we can talk about that later in the evening. But what I make in America, I couldn't make here in Japan. So I target my work for American companies. So my dollar goes extremely far. So my salary to them is like you're way in the upper middle class, or this is upper class with what you're making compared to the dollar to Japanese yen. So I'm doing very well, but also I don't have the what word I'm looking for. I don't have the debt of rent and all the other things like you normally have if you came here by yourself because of my wife inheriting property from her mom. So I get to save money on that. As far as purchasing things, the machine I'm talking to you on, I bought that here. So I spend about half the money I would spend on this exact machine in the United States. I got the exact machine I wanted, but I spent half the money I would have spent, and it's also an upgrade. So my motherboard and memory and all this stuff was an upgrade compared to what I had in the United States, and I spent half the money.
Wow. Okay. So are you telling me that brothers are getting fleeced in America?
Oh yeah. Well, I spent probably about $2,100 for a let's see a tower a mini tower desktop, a 16 core Intel chip, 128 gigabits of memory, high end what is that video card, liquid cooled um, uh, liquid cool of the processor and the internals, and a nice was a nice server case, including my 34-inch widescreen monitor. I spent about $2,100 for all that. Once they did the translation from dollars to yen, so the yen is very weak right now to the American dollar. So I'm trying to buy as much crap as I can while that's still the case.
Wow. Amazing. Amazing, bro. This is incredible. And brothers, please feel free to hit the super chat if you have any questions or you want to support me. And of course, hit the PayPal to support. That'd be greatly appreciated, brothers. Thank you very much. Amazing, brother. So let's speak more about life in Nagoya. So I'm guessing the cost of living there is relatively much cheaper than it is in America. Are you saying that you're living like a king right now, brother, in Nagoya? You're essentially the top dog. You're the king of all kings.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, pretty much king of kings. I mean, you go to like down the street, there's a bike shop, and you guys got to understand, I'm 56. The last time I owned a bike, it was 1978. So I went down to the bike shop and bought a bike. They had a bike there for like 584,000 yen. If you translate that to US dollars, I probably would spend about $256 for the bike because I just wanted to ride the bike to the gym. So that's
Damn.
kind of yeah, so it's kind of cheapness. So what my salary is and what I'm paying for that bike is like, okay, that's nothing to me. So I can do that. I can go out and eat pretty much every day of the week, and it still wouldn't hurt my pocket. I'm not talking about just going like a McDonald's because with McDonald's here is not the same as McDonald's in America or to a Burger King or something like that. It's completely different. But I can go to a very nice restaurant and spend the kind of money that I need to spend and not really hurt my pocket here. But we tend to spend more money than most people. Most people here they eat a lot of stuff from like the convenience stores, which is right across the street from me as well. They will spend like a couple of thousand yen to get food and stuff like that. We can spend a lot more because we don't have the kind of debt that other people have, but also our salaries are different. Well, my salary is different. it's based on American salary, not the Japanese yen. But if I was working here as a developer here, I said the best I could get is like equivalent to like $40,000 salary that's going on in the United States, which is way cheap.
Amazing, bro.
Yeah.
So, how is life like for you in terms of safety? Obviously, America is, in my opinion, one of the most dangerous countries for black men, which is why I
Yeah.
want black men to get out of America as soon as possible. Police violence, police brutality, institutional racism against black men, straight black men.
Right.
How is safety like? How do they treat you as a black man in Nagoya, Japan, brother? Are you safe there?
I'm pretty
Do the
safe.
cops not bother you?
Yeah.
Mm,
No,
go ahead.
most people don't tend to bother. Most people are pretty much standoffish because you're dealing with Japanese people. They, like my wife says, that sometimes they don't want to talk to you because they don't want to mess up English. Every now and then you'll get some young knucklehead, but most people, especially adults, don't really bother you. If anything, you'll get the looks and the stares. And then from the women's point of view, they'll look, but they don't want to look at you. So they don't want to stare because that's a cultural thing. They don't want to stare. But I generally am walking my dog most of the time, and I have a Sheltie/Shepherd, so she looks like a large corgi. So I get a lot of kawaiis about my dog, but since I don't speak Japanese, I can't like carry on a conversation with them to a point where I can get to know who they are and stuff like that. But when I'm walking my dog, well, yeah, I get a lot of looks and like, oh, it's kawaii, your dog's so pretty. I guess thank you, like that. But my dog is not friendly, and that's the other aspect. So I have a translator in my pocket that I always use. Is like, okay, my dog is friendly, but don't stick your hand down there because you may not get it back. Just being honest. But it's just one of those things where people will they will be friendly to you. I bought stuff from stores where I don't speak Japanese. I use my translator, and I would just I'll say it in the translator in English, and they'll say it in Japanese, and then we all understand. But I'm very good at understanding human gestures and ways people speak and ways people communicate. So I can kind of infer what they're trying to say, and especially if they use a few English words. I'm like, okay, I understand what you're trying to say. One of the strangest things one of the things that goes back to culture, dealing with people here in America. There's a guy, older gentleman, who saw me in the elevator, and he's seen me around every now and then. So he asked me, he's like, and he does this. He says, you probably can't see me, but I'm using like a what do you call that? A guitar, air guitar signal. So he was asking me, was I a musician? And I'm like, no. I said, no, I'm not a musician. So I talked into my translator. I said, no, I'm not a musician. I'm a software developer. I said, so from his point of view, only time they see black people is we're doing some type of entertainment. So some type of music or some other like sports or something like that. So I was like, no, I'm not a musician. I'm actually a software developer. So you'll get that as well. So because most times they don't see black people, especially here in Nagoya, they don't see a lot of black people doing anything other than that. And I met a couple of African people from here, and most of those people like well, I guess they were in college, they were in school, something like that.
Awesome, bro. Um, so racism, do you experience any sort of institutional racism? Banking, politics, certain forces against you, like you would experience in America.
Not specifically, but I've had some issues, some incidents where at the local shop here for like this burger shop, I went to get a burger, and next I'm talking to the woman. She's like, "Oh, I don't understand you." So she goes talk to the owner, and he tells me, "Oh, we ran out of patties." I'm like, "How you run
What?
out of patties and you still got people sitting here eating?" It's like, all right, fine, whatever. And I just walked on. So little incidents like that. But most of the time, it's really the fear of speaking English or not knowing how to speak to a foreigner. That's where you get those issues. But that's for all gaijins. That's not specific to black people. You know, I'm also part of a international group who I'm working with to try to understand how to speak, not only speak Japanese, but how to deal with the cultural issues, especially when it comes to like, and if you spoke to Theo, dealing with garbage. How we deal with garbage is different, like in recycling. Give you an example. We know a plastic bottle like we have for soda. You have that wrapper around your plastic bottle of the label of the company that makes it. Here,
Mm.
you have to take that label off, throw that label away in a different bag, and then put all your plastic bottles in a different bag, and then they all go out on a different day. So your garbage
Wow.
and your plastic and everything else is managed differently and on a different day, and you have to put it in the right place at the right time. and they're real
Amazing, bro.
sticklers about that.
Amazing. So,
Yeah,
this is awesome, brother. This is awesome, right?
right.
So, wow, I'm impressed about your life so far in Nagoya, Japan. Seems like it's treating you very well then in Japan right now, brother. So let's move on to your wife.
Okay.
How did you meet your wife, brother? How?
I met my wife in America, but I met her through eHarmony, and so we were matched from a compatible point of view from there. And I used to fly from the DC area to San Francisco to when I first met her. I flew from DC, actually from Dallas to San Francisco, and that's where I met her. There's a funny story behind that as well. Uh, and my cousin lived in Alameda at the time, so I was kind of like, just in case this don't work out, it's like I can visit my cousin, hang out with him. But I met her then, and then we would always talk on the phone, and well, not really on the phone, but on Skype. So we would talk for hours and just kind of hang out. Then I started seeing her, and then I proposed and asked her to marry me.
Wow. Um, Let me ask this, bro. Would you
Mm-hmm.
say that your wife, right, had a thing for brothers, or she generally liked you for you? Because obviously, there's some sort of as we get more information about Japanese women, we're finding that a lot of Japanese women have got a thing for brothers. They got a deep love for black men, which is incredible and kind of strange to me because we're two complete separate opposite people.
Right.
Do you think that your future wife, your girlfriend at the time, liked black men, brothers, or she liked you for you?
I say half and half. I think she had a thing for brothers. She dated other black men before, but she always liked me for me because she was really on the from her perspective of she wanted to make sure the person she was with was compatible. So we're both a little older at the time. So I was still in my 40s and she was in her late 30s. So we're still a little older at the time. So we had our experiences before that. But she had dated other black men before me, especially like here in Japan. And especially like, she tells me some stories about places she dated men like from different military bases and stuff like that. So she's was used to being around foreigners or black men at that point in time. But our relationship was really just about us. So it wasn't about, some fetishization of black men. She was into me because we talked a lot about everything. So it's like, we definitely understood each other once we got married.
Okay, so she had a thing for brothers.
Right,
Oh,
right.
where's she from in Japan? Is she from Osaka, Tokyo, or is she from
No,
Nagoya?
she's from here in Nagoya.
Interesting, bro.
Yeah, but
Interesting.
she's lived in several different places. Her profession is graphic designer, but she's from here from Nagoya. And when she went to America, she went on a J1 visa for a company in California, San Francisco.
Awesome, bro. Let me ask this, brother, right?
Mhm.
How is it like being married to a Japanese woman? So let's start with the positive first, right? Tell me the positives of being married to a Japanese woman right now, from your personal experience in 2023, from what you've seen, from what you personally experienced with your Japanese woman, brother. Break it down for me, bro.
I would say the positive part is that, you know what, my wife actually does clean and cook. She will do some of the traditional stuff, even though she may not like it, but she'll do the traditional stuff. Um, from that point of view, is like, other aspects of our relationship is almost like just like any other man and woman. It's no really much no different. We have our differences. Our biggest arguments probably be with based on cultural lines, not based on like direction. I am allowed to leave, but sometimes I have to assert myself and set that boundary. The biggest thing about moving to Japan with her is that I had to understand and get used to how she moves in Japan with her friends. That was a change for me because they're a lot more closer here with each other than I might have been with some of my friends in the United States. And especially coming from the world that I worked in, it's like I was not as close to my friends as I used to be because of the world that I worked in. And so when I got here, she's like, well, I'm gonna go out here with my friends. We're gonna go to dinner. We're gonna go do this. We're gonna do that. It's like, okay, well, you're leaving me out of this. So what's the problem? you know. So it's kind of like I had to understand, like, okay, they're friends and they're just hanging out, because that's what they do, especially with women here in Nagoya. When you walk around here, man, there are women everywhere. When I was in a meetup the other day, I told the Japanese guy, I said, I don't understand why a Japanese guy would be alone here in Nagoya. There are
Damn.
women everywhere.
Ooh, okay. Um, so side question, brother.
Mhm.
regarding there are women everywhere in Nagoya, Japan. That's beautiful.
Right.
That's wonderful. Are these single women and are they checking for brothers ultimately, brother?
A lot of them are single. I can't say whether they're checking for brothers, but I have been approached. I hope my wife don't hear this, but yeah, I have been approached. Um, you just need to check the age, if anything, because they do look very very young. They're all fit, but here in Nagoya they are conservative, so they're not super conservative, but they like to wear long dresses. So everything's long: the long dress, the long sweater, the long shirt. When they walk around, they're pretty much covered up. So you have to, like, when you're dealing with one of them, it's like you have to make sure that you understand. Okay, this is a woman who's very conservative, but she will appreciate your conversation. You know, and it's like, but here there's also, you got people from Thailand, you got people from Sri Lanka, you got people from China, you have other Japanese people from other provinces who come here as well. And we're pretty much the centralized hub. So a lot of people stay in like hotels, like where our condo is, there are like 6 or 7 hotels within a half a block radius. So actually, right across the street from us is a brand new hotel they just finished building. Around the corner is a brand new hotel they just finished building. So they're building all these hotels and condos because they're going to institute a new bullet train that will take you from here to Tokyo within 45 minutes. So you may get a lot of influx of people coming here from into Nagoya because it's a central hub, and they'll be able to go anywhere they want, up and down the line in Japan. But as far as the women, if you just go to this mall, and I kid you not, you go to this mall, you just stand there for a minute, and your head will be turning on a constant basis. I have gotten used to it, and I had to get used to it, but you will definitely be turning your head on a constant basis. They will recognize you, but they may not come up and speak to you. But if you speak Japanese, oh, they'll definitely talk to you.
Wow. Let me ask this, brother, right? You said there's a lot of single men in Japan, and you're wondering how, so in Nagoya, Japan, right? You're wondering how are they
Right.
single? What is going on there between the dynamics between Japanese men and Japanese women? Do Japanese women hate Japanese men? Because, brother, if you're telling me right now there's single woman in Nagoya in the masses, I'm booking
Mm-hmm.
that trip right now, brother. I'm booking that trip right now
Right.
to impregnate impregnate those chicks on some Genghis Khan ish. I'm kidding, brothers. I'm kidding. But so how are these men single when there's so many single Japanese women there, brother?
Economics, because it's hard to actually purchase a home because of how much money these guys make. Especially starting out, finding jobs, and the way their job market is completely different from like the United States or UK. United States to UK is something. I had a conversation with her mother. It's like, well, why are you always, she asked my wife, why is he always changing jobs? Because in Japan, you go to work for a company and you pretty much stay there. They basically don't really fire you. You basically put you in a room somewhere if they don't want to deal with you anymore, but they don't really fire you. And in the United States, no, we change jobs every 2 to 3 years, because if you want to increase your salary, or you want to get more experience, or you want to grow your career, you have to change jobs. So it's a different concept. But here it's not the same. But they are very efficient in their jobs. But then it's the salary thing. It's like, do you make enough money to actually support a family? And that's where the trick comes in. So everybody hangs out, and they have girlfriends and stuff like that, and I see that all the time, especially now with Valentine's Day. But it's like getting married. It's like, sometimes it takes a little while for them to get married because they just can't afford it. So I'm getting used to the concept of the love hotel, which we don't have in the United States. We just have hotels. But they can't really do things in their own homes, or they don't have apartments where they can do that. So they go to a love hotel to do their business. So when my wife was explaining that to me, I was just cracking up about that. I said, oh, okay, I understand the concept, but we used to have in our own apartments. A woman comes over and we do our thing. But here it's like, no, they may be staying with their parents, or they have a roommate or something like that. So they got to go to a love hotel to do what they need to do, and then go on from there. So it is very interesting from that point of view. So I would say it's part economics and part just, as the Japanese women here have said online, they're herbivores, so they're not as aggressive and forward as we are, coming from the United States or any other, country, Western country. You don't have that as well.
Wow, amazing, bro. So hearing this right now, brother. So let's say a brother's listening to this right now. He's a black brother.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely interested in Nagoya, Japan. There's a lot of single women out there. Where do we fit in as Western black men who are English and American, right? Particularly Western black men, American black men, British black men, Canadian black men. Where do we fit in, brother, with these single women in Nagoya? How do we then place ourselves in that equation there to grab up these single women like Pokemon?
It's hard for me to say because I'm married, so it's like I don't date from that point of view. I've been married for 10 years. I would say the biggest opportunity is to just to have the conversation. If you come here, the other problem you may have is housing because a lot of times they don't rent to Gaijins or foreigners because of that issue with the garbage for one, but also our habits are different. I think I was talking with Theo about this that I stopped talking on the street because here their houses, especially the very old ones, are literally on the street. So they can hear everything coming from outside. So that's why a lot of people will walk up and down the street and you don't hear a word. I mean, it can be completely silent out there. You can hear cars before you hear people speaking. So that is one of the aspects of it too, is how you communicate, how do you talk to them, not being loud, not being boisterous, but definitely being very direct. So that's one of the things, with Japanese women that they would probably appreciate. In Nagoya, since they're a lot more conservative, is just trying to get to know who they are, and also who their families are. We would be considered being in the rich area or the well-to-do area. You wouldn't know it because the way the housing structures are here, there's no, and we talked about this as well, there's no zoning. So where we live is mostly condos and apartments. But if I go on the other side of this highway, you find a lot of houses, very nice houses, but that house is sitting in the middle of between two parking lots. And one of those parking lots have cars that people rent. But there's someone's house sitting right there, but it's a very nice house. And they will be considered a rich person.
Wow, amazing, bro. Brothers, can we get the likes up, please? And can we get some support in? Super chats, PayPal donations, that'd be greatly appreciated, brothers. Okay, I would really appreciate if you can support me. Let me ask this question now, brother. You mentioned that friends, your wife has a lot of friends, female friends or mixture of male and female friends. But I admit, bro, I don't care what nationality she is. No male friends, no girls trips, foreign or non-foreign. I just can't do that. I've been in that situation before. She had male friends, it didn't go well. She'd gone on trips, it didn't go well. So based on that experience, I'm like, no male friends and no girls trips abroad. You said your wife has a lot of friends. She hangs out with a lot of her friends, right? Are these all female friends or these male friends or mixture?
These are all female friends and family members.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with you on that aspect though. Yeah, I don't deal with the male stuff. We had a interesting conversation about because she likes to go to these bars, especially like around here. There's like all these different bars, and she'll strike up a conversation with like the bartender. And I had to explain to her, it's like in America we don't do that. That is a no-no because one, you're representing me, and you don't understand how men think. I said, and you understand when he's looking at me and you're talking to him, he's looking at me and he's seeing this look on my face. And he's like, okay, her husband doesn't like that. She doesn't get it, but I have to move differently because now this man can come at me in a different way that I may not like. And I'm trying to explain that to my wife. It's like, yeah, I know you guys think of it as we're all just friends. Like, no, that's not how we look at it. We don't see it that way. So now she's like, she'll hang out with her female friends, or her family members who are females, but it's like there's no male friend stuff. But we do have a conversation about her family member. I think we were at a bar one day. We were talking about they wanted to go down where the one of her friends who's gay, like her gay friends, like, oh, we want to go hang out at a bar. I said, nope, I'm not going.
Nope.
And we had this long conversation. I said, let me explain to you. That's not where I'm going. That's not who I am. No, I'm not going. We're not going to do that. That is not a life that I that's not something I want in my life. And if you want to do that, then we will file for divorce and we go in our separate ways.
You said that, bro.
Yes, and I meant it. I had to mean it. I had to mean it to her because I'm like, no, we're not doing the gay thing. It's like I don't find it funny. I have nothing against gay people and all that stuff. I said, but I'm a heterosexual man. I hang out with heterosexual people.
Beautiful, bro. Respect. A lot of women nowadays are sick. They don't think well. Everything's all about fun, all that garbage. They just don't think well, man. I'm telling you, something ain't right with women nowadays, bro. And it's pissing me off, man.
Oh yeah.
Can they think for once? You know, the straight man want to hang out around those people like that? Does he want to be in around them? Come on, man. Think, woman. Think. God
Well,
damn.
yeah, and that and the it's also the lack of truly understanding American English. A lot of times people like in America, people will say stuff to my wife, and I can tell she's not getting it. And I'm like, I would like try to translate for her. And we're at a store one day, and this lady was saying something, and I was like trying to explain to my wife, and the woman started popping off to me. And I'm like, I tell you, let me explain to you. I'm grown. I am not her. I'm a grown man. You don't speak to me like that. And my wife's like, why do you say that? I said, because I had to check her because she looked at me as a boy, not a man. I said, you don't see that because you're not from America. You don't see that kind of disrespect coming your way. I have to check her because if I don't, then she's always going to think of me as somebody being weak. She already thinks that I don't work and you do because of her mentality. That's why she's acting the way she's acting. So I had to check that. I said, but her lack of fully understanding the nuances of the English in America is totally different how they teach English here in Japan. It sometimes gets in the way of our communications as well. So when you're dealing with a Japanese woman here in Japan, especially in Nagoya, her English understanding may not be at a level that you may want it to be because that's not how they're taught English. They're not taught that nuance of verbiage that we get on a constant basis in America. They don't understand that. So you have to kind of translate that down. And sometimes you have to break it down to very small things, explain every little thing till you get to the point of the conversation that you were talking about originally. So yeah, so you have that issue as well.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. Amazing. Um, the issue of girls' trips abroad, have you mentioned that with her? No girls' trips, or do you allow her to
Yeah.
go to Mexico, Hawaii?
No. She doesn't do that stuff. No, when they go out, it's here local, not even going to another city. So their stuff that they do is definitely local. We don't. Yeah, if we're gonna go on a trip somewhere, it's her and I. It's not her and her friend going somewhere. No, we don't do that.
Respect, bro.
Yeah.
So you have your requirements for your Japanese wife, and I respect that, brother. Does
Mm.
she see you as controlling? Because if I was to tell it to a Western woman, no guy friends, no girls trips, she's gonna pop up at me. IP, you're controlling me. I can't do that. Blah blah blah. Does she see you as controlling her, or is it because you're a Western man, you have more leverage over the relationship there? Break it down for me, bro.
I'll break it down for you like this. It's kind of like something that Theo said when he said about their family members. The person that checks her, because we had a conversation when we first got married, and her, and her mother were eating dinner one day, and she did something that another woman I dated from Trinidad did, and it's basically trying to say, why are you embarrassing me in front of my family? And she said something to me, and I turned to her, and it just instant snap. Turned to her, I was like, wait a minute, you don't talk to me like that. So I don't know who you think you're talking to, but you don't talk to me like that. Now, her mother does not understand English, but her mother understood exactly what I just said. And her mother looked at me. She said, yes, you and I both understand my daughter.
Damn. So your mother backs you up. She backs you up, and
Oh, yeah.
you disciplining your daughter. Okay,
Yeah.
her daughter.
Yep. And not only her, but her aunt as well, because we were eating dinner at a celebration, New Year's celebration. So I get over to where they're eating at a little late, but I was doing some work. So she's handing out food. So she's giving out plates to her friends and her aunt before she gave her plate to me. So her aunt told her, like, oh, wait a minute, what are you doing? Your husband eats first. Your husband gets his plate first. He doesn't go get his plate. You bring him his plate. And she checked her right then and there. And from that day, I have not had that problem.
Okay, so you have a family backing you up, bro, in the way she does things. So,
Yes.
brother, right? What's up with these Japanese chicks, man? Because I feel like we've been sold a lie. We have been sold a lie by the media. They're submissive, they're feminine, they'll do everything you want to. But some of this problems with these Japanese girls that you have to actually set your foot down, let her know what's up. Don't do
Well,
this
I think
crap, or I'll let you go.
I think for the most part, most Japanese women are like that. Every now and then, you're going to get one that's going to break the mold. That's going to be outside the box. But it's also you have to look at the family and see how the family, because the family, like Theo said, the family will correct that because they represent the family. And when we go do stuff like now, we have those boundaries set. You know, I'm like, look, this is what I'm going to deal with, and this is what I'm not going to deal with. It's not that I'm being an ogre here. I'm not being a mean person, but I'm just saying these are the things I'm going to deal with, and these are the things I'm not going to deal with. And like you, hard lessons learned from previous relationships. So when I say I'm not going to deal with something, and she's like, okay, but she'll give me that pushback, or she'll get all silent. I'm like, oh, it doesn't matter to me, and I have to like stand on that frame, like on 10 toes down, as people will say. Like, you know, you can get mad all you want. You have two choices. You can stay or I can go. You know, you can either do what I asked you to do or I can go. I'm not going to sit here and compromise on that, because if you compromise on it, then you're just asking for trouble. Now, we do things from her family's point of view. Like, we'll go to her grave sites for her mother and her father. We'll go to her family grave sites. We'll honor her, all her holidays and traditions and stuff like that, which I do not mind. But it's like there are certain things that I just will not deal with, and she knows that.
Hey, yo, I gotta say salute to your family for keeping the Japanese chick in line.
Yeah.
Wow. I think it's very important that brothers need to know how to deal with a Japanese woman if you want to marry one, because it's not all roses and peaches. A lot of these Japanese chicks can act up. You gotta set your foot down as a man, let her know the deal. And I respect you, bro, for actually saying that. Listen, if you disrespect me again, I will divorce you. When you
Right.
said that to her, brother, I will divorce you. What was her reaction?
Now she looked at me all shocked. And it wasn't the first time I've said it. It's like, you know, she's like, what? I was like, yeah, I'm serious. It's like, I will divorce you. I will leave you here. And we got into an argument at the store, and I pulled her to the side, being a gentleman. I was like, don't raise your voice at me like that in public. Don't speak to me like that in public, because it's disrespectful. And she began to raise her voice. I was like, all right, I'm going to tell you one more time. And I got in her face, like, do not speak to me in that manner in public. It is disrespectful. Just like a man putting his hands on you is disrespectful. What you're doing is disrespectful. You're not going to emasculate me in public. She's like, well, they don't understand. I said, no, they don't understand English. They understand body language. They understand voice tone. They understand harsh communication. They understand that. I said, so do not do that in public. And I had to check her because, again, when her mother died, my wife pretty much lost it. So, you know, she just became unhinged in some respects. And like I said, I'll deal with you, trying to help you heal from that. I said, but we're not going to deal with the disrespect. You're not gonna go into that realm. And that's the other thing. If you're dating a Japanese woman, yes, they're very close to families. Their family, especially mother and father. And if one of them passes away, there's gonna be a lot of grief there. Because my wife she was losing it. You know, when that first happened, I actually flew from the United States to Nagoya to be with her to help her calm down. You know, and give her on a break so she can actually go home, but to help my wife calm down. But I've seen that in other families as well, where they lose a family member, and it's very hard on them, you know, because they're so close. And that's the other thing too. The mothers and daughters, when they get older, they will be very close. They will hang out. They will do things together. They will shop together. Especially when they're used to that from being, you know, even at little age as children. Fathers are always working, and from our perspective, especially with my wife, I had another conversation I had with her, not to tell all our business, but I had to explain to her where her money comes from, or what her, you know, the money that her mom had. I said, your mom didn't make that money. Your dad did. I said, everything you have is based on what your father did. As much as you have these conflicts with your father, I said, well, your father provided for you, not your mom. It was your father who built that business, not your mom. And it's the father who made sure you're financially stable, not your mom. Your mom made sure it continued, but it was your father who did that. I said, so you have to honor your father for what he's done, even though you guys have conflict because you want to do your own thing. I said, but it was your father who made sure that you were taken care of in the future.
Amazing, bro. I'm telling you, man, this stream is making me a better man. It really is, bro. Like, the game I'm getting from this channel, this stream is making me a better man. Like, I know what to do with any chick, and I got to set my authority down. And brothers have to not be afraid of losing a chick. If
Yeah.
she leaves because you set your foot down, she wasn't the right one for you. Because I guarantee you, bro, like, would you say, like, when you checked her in the store, right, when you always check her, she gains more respect for you and more attraction for you as a man? Would you say so, brother?
I think after she gets through being pissed off, yeah, because she realizes, okay, he's going to set some boundaries. He's not going to let me do whatever I want to do, you know. So she realizes, especially also with her friends, but also gave her that speech of what a woman, she like, because we had a conversation about women that's another conversation about being cheated on. That's a whole conversation by itself. We had a conversation about why men cheat, and I said, well, and I'm a Kevin Samuels, acolyte. I said, well, what are you not doing to get cheated on? What are you not doing at home that cause your man to cheat? I said, it is cheating because you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing at home. And she's like, oh, really? I said, yeah. I said, I'm not saying men should cheat. I'm just saying, if you're not giving him what he needs at home, why would you expect him to be there with you and do all the things you want him to do?
Wow, amazing, bro. And what language do you communicate with? So when you're arguing with her in the past in the shop, what language did you communicate with, or was it English or Japanese?
It was English. I'm learning Japanese now, but it was definitely English.
Okay, okay. So in your day-to-day relationship, brother, you speak English with each other.
Right. But you understand my ability to convert what people are saying from different languages. I tend to use I can tell what people are saying based on body language, inference, conversation, subject. So I can pretty much pick up on what people are saying. My wife doesn't speak a lot of Japanese to other people in front of me if she's saying something I don't like, because she knows eventually I may just pick it up. She's like, wait a minute, because many times she said, wait a minute, you understood that? I said, yeah, I understood that. I understood what you were saying. She said, how do you understand? I said, well, I just figure out languages. I did that with Hindi. I did that with Spanish. I'll hear for a while, and then after a while, I'll start picking it up, and then I'll start understanding and translating. I may not be able to speak it perfectly, but I'll pick it up. So I did the same thing with her. I just started picking it up, and I was like, okay, I get what you're saying here. I get what you're saying there. And last night we were at this bar, and I got what the guy was saying about San Francisco. She's like, you understood that? I said, yeah, I understand what he was saying. I said, so I get that part of it. Now, other parts I may not have gotten, but eventually I will, because I'm going to start taking courses here in Japan, one-on-one courses to learn Japanese. I said, but eventually I'll pick it up.
Wow, amazing, bro. Amazing. So let me read a couple of super chats, brother. I've got a couple of questions more before we open up the phone lines. Brothers, like I mentioned, if you can also please donate to me via the PayPal, that'd be greatly appreciated. YouTube takes a 45% cut of each and every super chat, so I don't get much from it. YouTube does that kind of nonsense, so please support via the PayPal too. That'd be greatly appreciated. Shout out to Mr. I Am Waf for the $2 super chat. Thank you both for the support. What's a normal Japanese salary versus a above average?
I'm not sure, because I'm only looked at it from a software developer's point of view. So average, depending on what your grade is here, for a senior developer, I think the average salary is about 40 grand. But everything else, you could be talking like, if you're doing English pounds, that's someone offered me a job from England, and they were talking like $5,800 for 5,800 euros a month. And that's the other thing here. They pay monthly, where in the United States, I'm paid every 2 weeks. So that's pretty much a big difference there. But you're not talking like really large salaries here, especially for guys who come over here and teach English. So that's why everything, like, for us buying stuff, everything here is pretty much cheap. So you can pretty much eat cheaply. So I can eat three meals a day on probably about 6,000 yen.
Wow. Thank you, bro. Shout out to Mr. Mufasa in the building. What's up, Mufasa? I appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much for your support as always, Mufasa. I appreciate you a great deal for the $9.99 super chat. Thank you, bro. Respect fam to the guests. Have you been to Fukuoka? If so, in your opinion, do they have the baddest Japanese woman in Japan? I'll be there in August for 3 weeks. I'm looking forward for traditional. Yes.
I have not been to Fukuoka because we have not traveled there yet. I'm probably going to hit Osaka, hopefully sometime soon. But we just have not traveled there yet together. But we're definitely going to Hiroshima, because she has an aunt there, and we're going to go there. I'll try to get to Fukuoka if we can, but it's just time, just trying to get out the house. As far as the baddest, because we're the central hub, I kind of put it this way in Nagoya. Because you're a central hub, you can get to Tokyo, you can get to Osaka, you can get to Kyoto, you can get to all these other places. A lot of people come here for vacation, and also a lot of people come here for shopping. So just in this area, I can't tell you where they're from, but there are some beautiful women who come through here. And I'm not talking short, I'm talking tall, my height, or just a little shorter or even taller. But you also have Chinese women. You have you have Thai women, you have Filipino women, you have the other one, Japanese and Thai, Filipino, Vietnamese women. You have all those different type of women who come through here. And a lot of these women also work like in some of the corporations that are around here. But also, again, the zoning in Nagoya and also throughout Japan is not like the zoning in America and other places. So you can have someone's house sitting right next to a office building, which is sitting right next to a parking garage, which is sitting next to 5 or 6 restaurants, or sitting next to some other type of building, and there's always constant building here. But you have people walking around all the time, and you have women walking around all the time, and you see them, and they're just absolutely gorgeous because their faces are always made up. If you were in the makeup business in this country, you would be king. So I'm just being honest.
Let me ask this, brother. Right? Let me ask this, brother. This is awesome. So you're saying there's a lot of foreign women out there in Nagoya, Japan. That's
Oh
great,
yeah.
brother. But are they checking for brothers? That's very important, brother. Are they checking for brothers big time?
I would say if they see them, because there's not. I mean, for me, I don't see a lot of brothers here, so I'm like a unicorn, So when I walk around, it's just me. I mean, I do take walks. So I would like walk my dog, and I will walk probably a mile just to make sure I'm just getting to walk in her. But I'm just trying to see all the places I can see, and sometimes everything looks the same. But they don't see a lot of brothers here, so I can't say they are checking. But I would definitely say that you will get approached. There will be somebody who will approach you, and there will be somebody accommodating to you. If you spoke Japanese, they will talk with you.
Awesome. Thank you, bro. Fantastic. Let me go into the next super chat. Thank you, Mufasa. Appreciate you, bro. Mufasa says, I'm sure his pimp hand was shaking. Yes, good deed, bro. Hey, I respect the brother Indy for doing that, man. That's how brothers should move. Doesn't matter if she's foreign or Western. You gotta make sure you keep your chick in check, right? Keep her in check. Let her know what she's doing wrong and keep her in check, bro. Don't simp because she's a foreign chick or she's beautiful. Keep that bish, right? Keep that
You
bish,
have
to
to.
be PG, in check. Go on,
I
bro.
Yeah, I learned a lot from dating a woman from Trinidad, and I realized, like, you know what? I did not set these boundaries in the beginning when I dated this woman, you know, and I didn't understand then. And after listening to Kevin Samuels, and we're about the same age, but after listening to Kevin Samuels, like, you know what? Yeah, I've been doing this bullshit all wrong. Sorry with the cuss word, but I've been doing this all wrong. I'm backwards. I'm like, why am I doing this? And that's when I met my wife. It's like, no, I'm changing how I'm dating. I'm changing how I'm communicating. I'm changing how I'm moving. Everything I had to change. It was like, because this is crazy, So when I met my wife, I had a totally different attitude when I met her.
Amazing. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, brother, for the support. Thank you, Mufasa, again. Shout out to Mr. That Hip for the $5 super chat. Everyone must understand that Japanese families are insanely close. If you are dealing with Japanese women, you will deal with the family. Is that true, brother?
That is true. One of the questions, and I met two brothers from, they were Japanese Brazilian. So at this meetup that I was at, for international meetup that I was at, they were like, they asked me questions like, well, how did the family treat you when you got married? I said, well, you understand, well, my wife, her father was already passed away. Her mother treated me very well, with open arms. And, you get that whole leftover women scenario, with that. So she was glad her daughter was married. But I didn't have the problem because her family treated me very well. From the wedding on to the time I met them, I've always been treated very well. But I had heard stories where, some families would not like that, their daughters married to black men, or they have a problem with that union. So, it just depends on the family. But for the most part, from my perspective, or my point of view, is that I didn't have that problem.
Amazing. Thank you, bro. Thank you. So next super chat here. Shout out to Mr. Jesus Shuttlesworth for the $5 super chat. Appreciate you, bro. Filipino women and Thai are great for black men. Japanese women and Korea are folding IP. So anyone in the chat, right, that has dealt with both Filipino women and Thai women, can you please send me a DM on Instagram? Okay, that'd be great. Appreciate it. Okay, or Twitter, which one works for you? So Twitter or Instagram works. I need to get more information about both these ladies. So please, if you have dealt with both Thai women and Filipino women, please send me a DM on Twitter and Instagram, or either one. That'd be great, brother. Okay, I'm super interested in them right now. I need to diversify my options and not just focus on Japanese women. They're not the end all be all, especially after hearing the BS that they might put a brother through, that rudeness and attitude. That no more, no more.
Right.
Am I taking BS from a woman? I have been a cleanup man for way too long. I have been used. I have been disrespected by Western women. I'm not going through that with a foreign woman. I'm gonna have to my pimp hand strong my pimp hand game, right, will be the
Right.
strongest of all time. Okay, I'm checking any disrespects, and if she doesn't like it, she can goddamn leave. She can
Yeah.
leave.
Just pick up and go, man. I've learned that same lesson. But another funny story here. I was going to buy my wife balloons for her birthday. So I go to the store and I'm at the door and this woman walks up and she sees me and she, with that bright eyed look like, wow, Gaijin, the black Gaijin. So she comes in to buy what she needs to buy for whatever party she was buying stuff for. But I'm walking around looking for balloons and other stuff for my wife. And this woman was literally checking for where I was in the store so she can come and talk to me again. I kid you not.
Options. You got options, right?
And she's not overweight. She was very thin, but she was very good looking. And she was checking. She's like, wow. She's like, I want to know. Like, she wanted to talk to me. I was like, I'm married. Like, if I wish I could, but I'm married, and we're too close to my house. I don't want to cause that kind of problem. It's like, but they are there. If just by walking around in Nagoya, they are definitely there, especially the younger generation. Now, the older generation you may not get, but definitely the younger generation.
Okay, so that's under 30, under 25 that are checking for brothers.
Yeah.
Amazing. This is beautiful. And this is the reason why I want brothers to travel, because in the West, we have no options here, man. And that's why men take the BS from women, because it could be another 5 years, another 2 years before they get another girlfriend once the current girlfriend leaves. But in
Oh, yeah.
Japan, if one girlfriend leaves, next week, another one gonna come through. So yeah, you have options and leverage. And that's what's missing in the West here. We have no more leverage anymore in relationship. Women have all the leverage. They can leave you today, tomorrow, they're with a different dude, or they got 10 guys hollering at her. When was the
Right.
last time 10 women hollered at you in the West, bro? I can't
Now,
I can't remember. It's I must have been over 10 years ago for me, bro.
I would
That's
say
why
3 or 4, but not 10.
I mean, I have accepted the situation here for myself in the West. I'm not going to find the woman of my dreams. I'm not going to find a decent woman here, virgin, no body count. I know that my options are scarce here, and that's why I travel to meet women. Okay. And I know
Oh, yeah.
that me as a Western English black man, I'm rare. I have an accent. Okay. I'm not short. Okay.
Right.
I work in IT, right? I'm well spoken. I know that I am high value abroad, and I'm going to use that to my advantage when I travel to all these countries. I hit the gym. I'm in the gym too, you
Yeah.
know. So that's it, brothers. That is the way forward. Use your leverage. Use what you have. Use your superpowers, brothers. That's a superpower right there, brother.
I,
English black man.
I totally agree. I went to Barbados for my friend's wedding, and the person I wanted to take with me didn't go, but that was a different story. Didn't want to go with me. So I went by myself, and one of her relatives actually said, "Why didn't you bring somebody?" I said, "You know what? I thought about it, but I also thought about it once that person declines. Like, why would I bring sand to the beach?" I said it was much better me going without her than actually bringing somebody with me.
That incredible. Shout out to Mr. Johnny Walker in the building. Thank you, Johnny, for the support. $10 super chat. I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, bro. I appreciate the older brother coming on and sharing his story, teaching and mentoring us young fellas on how to move in marriage, how to move with foreign woman. Let each one teach one. Yes, indeed. Wise words from the legend, Johnny. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you for the support as always. Thank you, Johnny Walker. Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah,
Awesome.
appreciate that, brother.
Couple more super chat. Shout out to Mr. Dat Hip for the $2 super chat. I don't have PayPal. Can I support you on Cash App? So I'm not on Cash App anymore, bro. So can you all please make a PayPal account, for me, just to support me? That'd be greatly appreciated. I have moved on for Cash App. Too much BS with them, and it makes sense. They're not really that regulated. If you look at what they do, so please, brothers, please support me on the PayPal. That'd be greatly appreciated. If you don't have an account on PayPal, please please create one and support me, man. If you take heed on these words, if you appreciate what I do for the past 9 years, support, man, support. Thank you. Shout out to Mr. Jesus Shuttlesworth again for the $2 super chat. Make 2023 the year you learn 2 languages and work out. Yes, indeed, bro. I admit I've been slacking a bit on my working out routine this year, but I'm gonna get back on it as soon as possible. Get the muscles back, get the tone back, so I can so I can mac on these foreign chicks abroad, man. Appreciate you, brother. Awesome. So, next question for you, brother, is you have mentioned that women approach you, women give you a lot of choosing signals, which is crazy. Are these young women, and how is your wife aware of that as to how much attention you get? Is that what keeps her on her toes?
No, they're young, but normally when my wife is not around, they won't approach me if my wife was around. Kind of excellent point last night when I was walking my dog. These 2 young ladies who saw me walking my dog, they were saying kawaii to my dog about my dog, and they were trying to say something in Japanese, and they realized I didn't speak Japanese, but I said thank you, arigato gozaimasu, and kept walking my dog. Later that evening, as me and my wife were going to a restaurant, these 2 young ladies walked by us, and one of them said, "Oh, I remember him. He's the guy that we saw with the dog." And then she looked at my wife and said, "Oh, he's married." So if I wasn't married and she saw me walking down the street, she would have came and said something to me. But I had another incident where they were selling apartments. So a young lady walked up to me and she's like, "Oh, your dog's so cute." She's trying to tell me about the apartments that they were selling or the condos they were selling. And then she got literally, like, when I say up in my face, I mean up in my face, talking to me. I'm like, "Okay, sweetie, you're a little too close." It's like your girlfriend close. It's like, so we don't need you to be that close. But she was talking to me. She just wanted to continue having this conversation with me, even though I'm using a translator. But my wife is not there at the time. But when my wife is with me, people just tend to look. So it's just like, they'll see me and they'll see her and they're like, okay, so she's with him. And they try to figure out, you can see they're trying to figure out what the relationship is. Am I the guy who's paying for her, or she's the woman paying for me? So you can see that on their faces.
Wow, amazing, bro. Wow. So based on what you see there, brother, I've heard that Japan has a huge cheating culture.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're seeing in Nagoya? So a woman will know that you're married, but she will still try it on with you, which is shocking. And your wife, right?
Right.
Do you trust her? Because obviously, both men and women cheat in Japan. Do you trust
Yeah.
your wife to not cheat
Oh, I
on your
trust my
brother?
wife because I set those boundaries. But like I told her, I was like, whatever you can do, I can do. I say, so if it comes down to the point where this is what you want to do, then just leave. But the cheating culture, and again, we had the conversation, why do men cheat? I said, well, a lot of times these men cheat because the women if they have children, they get so caught up with the children that they neglect their husbands. So they neglect them physically, emotionally, in every aspect, and then they tend to drink a lot. And a lot of these guys will work so much at their job, and they'll spend so much time at their jobs. By the time they come home, it's like 7 to 8 o'clock at night. But before they come home, they'll stop by these. As you know, they got these little convenient, it's called liquor stores, but they're like what's that? It's like a what are those things? Your dispensers, your
Water fountains.
Say again?
Water fountain.
No, it's like you're buying candy from a
vending machine.
Vending machine, yeah, it's like a vending machine. So they have vending machines everywhere that sells drinks, beer, wine, sake, soda, whatever. You can get it from there. So you can be on your way home. Next, you know what? Just grab a big, nice big bottle of not big, but like this big, nice bottle of I'm trying to get my hand here of sake, and you can drink that like a beer can of sake, and you sit there and you can drink that on the street where you can't do that in the United States. So by the time you get home, you may be plastered, but because your wife is pretty much spending much time, taking care of the kids. So they tend to do a lot of cheating, but they're also the older guys who chase younger women here, because that's their side chicks, because they're not getting that at home. Or they go to like the what do you call those bars? They go to like the I'm trying to think of the bar where the female will sit there and talk to you. The hostess bars. So they'll spend not a lot, but they'll spend some money at the hostess bars just to have a conversation with some of these females, and they tend to do that kind of thing. Then they'll progress into other aspects of the sexual world if they want to.
What about
But
women?
call it.
What about women cheating culture around women
Um,
in Nagoya, Japan?
you can have that as well. I don't see that as much, but I'm quite sure it definitely goes on. And it depends on who their husband is. And sometimes it could be like mutual. We're together, but we're not together type thing. They may not want to split up their assets, and they want to keep everything the way it is, but they have separate lives when it comes to their relationships. I haven't seen it because my wife's family, is pretty much close, and they don't practice that. But I've seen those looks from females, by walking around with her. It's like I've seen those looks from females where if my wife wasn't standing there, they would definitely say something.
Wow. Do you have kids with your wife currently, brother?
No, I don't have any kids with my wife. My first wife, I have 2 children with, and they're like 30 and 33. So my kids are older.
Wow, amazing, bro.
Yeah.
This brother living a great life, man. I love it. I love it. So let me ask this, brother. Money in marriage, right? So some crazy culture happens in Japan, right? Where
Mm-hmm.
man marries a woman, man works, the
Mm-hmm.
man comes home, sorry, and gives his hard-earned check to a woman to give him an allowance and look after money. What kind of
Mm-hmm.
nonsense is that? But is that true? And is that your
Yep.
relationship right now with your wife or no?
Nope. It's true, yes, but is that my relationship? No. My money, since I'm paid by American dollars, goes directly to my American bank account. So no. And I will give her money to pay bills and stuff like that, but she has her own money, so that's different. Um, but yeah, that is something that I've heard as well, and then some stuff I've looked on YouTube to understand what the culture structure is like. And she like, well, that's not how it is. I'm like, yeah, it is. If this guy is saying it, he's saying it for a reason. Yeah, men tend to give their money to their wives because they take care of the homes, so that's why they tend to do that. But they tend to give them like an allowance, let them spend just enough so they can I always say, just to keep you going. It's almost like a horse, just give you enough food to keep you going. But they do that and they spend the money the rest on the stuff for the household and for themselves. But they tend to control the money in the home here. It's different in the United States. But they also have, if both of them are working, it's kind of like they also have their own separate bank accounts. So he'll have his and she'll have hers. They manage their own money from that point of view. I've seen that happen as well. But as far as what I've seen with the men around here, yeah, a lot of these guys, especially if they're not if they're single, they manage their own money. If they're not single, yeah, a lot of those guys, yeah, pretty much their wives will manage the money, from that point of view. And that's just the way the culture is.
Does your wife work?
She works for me sometimes, but she doesn't really work. And she has not been able to work since her mother passed.
Oh, okay. Interesting. So she's basically a stay-at-home mom. So she handles the household, cooks, cleans. You don't do that, bro.
No, she cooks and she cleans, but she's not a stay-at-home mom. But she, like I said, she still does graphic design on her own, but she does stuff for me because I design my own software or I write my own software. So I'll have her do the graphic design because I do mostly mobile stuff now. So she'll do the designs for me for the UI, and I will write the code on behind it. But she doesn't really work, but she has, I guess say enough to sustain her. She doesn't need me to give her money all the time. So that's one of the good things about our relationship. She has that, but I try to still take care of pretty much all the bills, which is not as significant if I was in the United States. So in the United States, I was paying all the bills for the house, everything. And it's like, the money I was making was enough, but it's like, she probably wanted more money just to go out and do shopping like she does here. She can go out and shop. She can go out and buy stuff here where she couldn't do that as much in the United States.
Awesome, bro. I'm guessing when she works for you, you pay her some money for her time for doing the graphic design for you.
Yeah. It was, again, like, I don't have to pay her. She benefits from the money that comes in from it.
Amazing.
I don't have to pay her a salary because, like, wait a minute, you benefit from the money I get. Whatever I'm getting paid for this, it comes to you eventually.
Awesome, bro. This is amazing. What's the age gap between you and your wife?
We're about 10 years in age gap.
You're older. Are you older than her?
I'm older than she is. I'm 10 years older than she is.
That's amazing.
Yeah, 10 years older.
That's amazing, brothers.
I would
That is
recommend that. Yeah.
You recommend that? Why do you recommend a huge age gap between you and a Japanese woman as a Western black man?
I'm pretty much I recommend that for any women, any woman, and reason being, when I went to Brazil, is another wonderful story. When I went to Brazil, I realized my cousin has told me it's like one, you get a different version or understanding of beauty, but also like understanding the age gap there that they were having there. I said, well, that age gap is good because especially 5 to 10 years, because you have an opportunity as a man to establish yourself and build up your career in your family, or not family, build your career in your finances where you can properly take care of a woman if you brought her into your life. And with my wife and I, it's like that age gap was good enough where we weren't so close to in age where she was trying to tell me what to do, you know. So it's like I'm not constantly battling her about what is and what is not right. So our age gap for us was a good thing because we it allows her to be who she is and allow me to be who I am. And it allows me to also lead in the family point of view and what we want to do and where we want to go. But I think if we were closer in age, I think it would probably be a much harder thing to do.
Wow, incredible, bro, incredible. Next question for you, brother,
Mm-hmm.
is so tell me, and also before I mention that, right, brothers, nothing wrong with a 10-year age gap. If you're 30, date a 20-year-old chick. If you're 29, date a 19-year-old chick. Okay. If you're 35, date a 22-year-old, 21-year-old chick. Right. I encourage men to go young, young adults when you're dealing with women. Right. We don't date older women here, and we don't date women that are the same age as us. Maybe in some cases, but in most cases, she must be younger than you. I don't care what the woke culture says. F the woke culture. F them. They can live their lives and we'll live our lives. Okay. They can F off. Okay. Go for younger women. Older women are done for. Okay. Don't date single mothers. Don't date scrappy whores. Don't date these chicks who have been ran through. I want a good dude after. Go for younger college age women. F the woke culture. So next question for you, brother, is
Mm-hmm.
do you get femininity, right, and submissiveness from your Japanese wife, brother? Is she feminine? Is she girly? Does her nails, makeup, long hair, smells good? Is she submissive? Will she also bathe and moisturize you, brother?
Well, I would say I definitely get the femininity. My wife is definitely feminine. She definitely does her hair. I mean, right now she just had her grays touched up, so she does her nails. She wears feminine clothes. I don't have to worry about my wife trying to be a man like me. She does wear her stuff. That every now and then she'll wear like maybe some baggy pants, or she'll wear a big jacket, or likes to wear her Nike shoes and stuff like that. But my wife is definitely, when we step out to go out, she's definitely in the feminine mode. She does all the cleaning and the cooking. She definitely cooks my meals. She'll ask me what I want to eat and things like that. From our relationship from that point of view, she doesn't bathe me, but she would definitely do all the other stuff. Um, I don't have to worry about dealing with someone who's trying to be more butch than me. That's for sure. I always ask her that question, like, well, if you want equality, do you want to fight? Nope. Okay, then stay in your lane. Like, you want to get out there and scrap, to protect the world. It's like, then stay in your lane. It's like, because I got to do that. I have no choice. So we kind of go through those conversations. But a lot of times, if you ask us, like, again, I'm a Kevin Samuels acolyte. If you ask the women directly, like, no, do you want to do this stuff? No matter how crazy they may want to talk, they will eventually, their brain will kick in and say, yeah, you don't want to do that, really, do you? Like, no, I don't want to do that. And like I told her about one incident where, I told her, like, you don't hear the stuff that people will say, like when we're walking down the street. She's like, what do you mean? I said, well, this guy just called you the B word. She's like, I didn't hear that. So I know, but I did. I said, but now if I'd have punched him in the mouth and knocked his silly behind out, I said, you'd have looked at me all crazy. Like, why did you do that? I said, well, he just disrespected you. And he was trying to see if I understood what he said. And if I did do that, then you'd been like, it's like, who are you going to be mad at, me or him?
Let me ask this, brother, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
is your wife, right? And would you say Japanese women are the type of woman that, let's say, someone is testing you, they want to fight you, some guy, right? Is that,
Right.
come on, let's fight for you bitch, you're shook, you're scared, you pussy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would a Japanese woman and your wife encourage you to fight the guy like an American woman would and put your life at risk, or will she be a smart woman and tell you, hey, hey, let's walk away. Don't he's a stupid guy, he's a douchebag. Don't even like take his demands seriously.
Right.
What are Japanese women like, brother? The former or the latter, and your wife as well, bro?
Oh no, she would tell you definitely not to do it. She would probably tell me don't do it. She would not encourage me to no, she would not encourage me to put my life on the line like that. If I did something like that, it would just be my decision alone. No, she definitely would. Like I say, it's a different dichotomy. She would tell me not to do it. Her uncle would probably tell me to do it. But so that's a different it's a different dichotomy. And it's because her uncle teaches martial arts, but he's passed away. But he teaches martial arts and he taught martial arts here. So he would definitely say like don't start it, but if it gets started, you make sure you end it. Um, but it's just like she wouldn't do that. Most Japanese women wouldn't do that. They would definitely try to keep you from actually getting into that kind of trouble. But it's not an all the time thing. There's in every culture that's got this. There's knuckleheads. There's idiots in every culture. So especially with the younger culture, the younger guys, full of piss and wind. They want to see whether they can try you, especially if you're a foreigner here in Japan. There are some knuckleheads who will definitely try to see where you stand. You know.
Whoa, hold on, bro. So you're telling me younger guys in Japan, like in the 20s, 30s, want to test a black man, want to fight a black man?
Oh,
What?
they want to test any gaijin, but that's because they've probably been out drinking and they're just young. When you're young, you do stupid stuff. Because one day we were walking back from eating, we were going to the apartment, and this young kid was standing like in the middle of the sidewalk. So my wife went around him, and I'm walking toward him. He like looked at me like I'm not gonna move, and I like sumi my sin, excuse me, and she was like, well, why do you do that? I said because this was between men, it wasn't between women. I said he understood what I was saying, and he understood what I meant when I said it. I didn't say sumi my sin. I didn't say it like that. I said sumi my sin. That means excuse me. That means get your ass out the way.
And he moved.
And he moved. I said, the reason why and I explained to her, the reason I had to say it like that is because from a woman's point of view, you're trying to be nice, and most Japanese are trying to be, they are, what word am I looking for? They're trying to be courteous. They don't want to cause problems. I said, but the problem is, and when you have someone like that, he doesn't understand that. His mindset is like, oh, well, you're gonna make me move. What are you gonna do about it? So I had to present myself to him like I will do something about it. So how you want to proceed? You want me to do something about it, or you want to just politely step aside? And so he stepped aside, even though he had his two other boys with him, standing in an angle.
Wow.
And I
Miss options. Oh, go on, bro.
Yeah, so I had to explain to her about, again, being a martial artist. I had explained to her about understanding your surroundings. Like, see, you don't see those other two who are watching what he's doing. I said, so you got to understand that what he was trying to do was try to cause some trouble. He figured he was going to get some help. But he realized I knew where his help was coming from. So he realized, do I want to take that beating? Because they may not get here quick enough.
Damn. And this is what I'm saying, brothers. Get in the gym, man. It's very important for brothers to eat healthy, be fit. Don't be a slob. Hit the gym, brothers. Get the muscles up, because when you're big, right, people can sense your presence. When you have muscles, when they know you're fit, they won't try and test you. But if you're some skinny, scrawny dude, more foes will try and test you, man. Learn martial arts. Learn how to fight. Make sure you're always aware of your surroundings. Every time I go out, I look behind me all the time. I look left and right. People may think I'm weird, but I ain't taking no chances. I want to know who's around me, because it's a messed up world to live in, brothers. Know your surroundings, protect yourself, because it doesn't matter what country you go to, people might test you. Now, when I travel, some people have trying to test me. I walk away, right? Unless they put their hands on me, I'm like, listen, dude, I'm in your country. Your woman love me, so I
Right.
don't really care if you wanna test me. I'm banging your woman to keep it PG. So I mean, you want to test me, unless you put your hands on me, I'm gonna walk away. 'Cause what's the point? But make sure you
Right.
hit the gym, have muscles, and it's all good, man. So when we speak about brothers, like you know, dudes trying to test you, it can happen in any country. So protect yourself, man, and be smart about it. Don't be rash, don't be brash, don't throw the first punch. Tell dude, listen, to me, my son, Hojitsuke, calm down, leave
Right.
it be, man. I'm surprised Japanese dudes aren't doing that nowadays. That's that rap music they're watching, bro. Trying to test
Yeah,
a
it is.
man.
Oh, dude,
It is,
I
bro.
saw a dude the other day. He was walking down the street, and me and my wife were walking. We're going to her cousin's restaurant, and so him and this other guy walking down the street. I guess they're coming from the hotel near there, and he was straight hood. So his pants was hanging down. He had the dreadlocks coming out of his head. He was just like, just like one of the rappers. And I'm looking at him like, what is wrong with you? Do you have any idea what that really means in the United States? But he figured, he's all hip hop and he's all hardcore rap. And I'm like, no, man, that's not what that represents. This really does not what that represents. He's looking back at me like, I guess he's looking for some kind of validation. And I'm like, no, you're not getting that validation from me. Pull your pants up. Dress like you got some sense.
Wow. Have you ever been called the N-word in Nagoya, brother? The
N-word? Not in English. So.
Oh, what? In Japanese you have?
I wouldn't know if it's Japanese, but I've never been called in English that, I'm quite sure we've had incidents where people would like say stuff behind our backs where they were saying in Japanese, and my wife would tend to ignore it. But I'm like, I told her, like, I understand when someone's talking smack behind my back. You don't say something. It's like, so I kind of leave it alone. I said, but you know what? Once I start learning Japanese, I'm going to turn around and say something. I said, because they're doing it because they know I don't know Japanese. They suspect I don't know Japanese. So they're going to talk smack behind my back. I said, but it's not something that's cool. So that's not a cool thing to do. I don't care, if I'm in America and I speak English, you don't speak English. I wouldn't do that, say something like that behind someone's back. But you do get those kind of incidents, especially where we are, where everybody comes in from different places, and you're walking around, especially by the mall. Yeah, you'll get some people who get out of pocket. I mean, it's just human nature. Like, there's always going to be that one. There's always going to be that one.
Wow. Thank you both for that breakdown. So a couple more questions, brother, and I'm going to open up the phone lines. Let me ask this, brother. What's the horrible parts about marrying your wife or a Japanese woman? From what you've
Japanese
seen
woman?
Yes.
Something Theo talked about when they get older, they do change. Because I had a friend of mine who was married to a Japanese woman in the United States, and that aspect of their lives did change. That the intimacy will change. So you have to kind of keep that fresh in some form or fashion. And having that conversation with them about that is like, because women tend to change once they hit 40, close to their 50s. So they're definitely going to change. And if you're not on the same page when it comes to that intimacy, you definitely need to have that conversation, because that's another reason why Japanese men will definitely, step out, so you have that aspect of it as well. I guess the other thing is like trying to get her to not speak Japanese around me to other people, so I wouldn't understand what's being said. It's like, include me into the conversation. Let me know what's being said so I don't take it the wrong way.
Okay. And have you had that conversation with your wife about intimacy? Like, you always want her to throw the box at you, keeping it PG. And if you don't do that, divorce.
Well, yeah. Well, I've had that conversation, but that's on the private side. But yeah, I had that conversation with her because it not just her, but I've had that conversation with other women from other countries that I've dated. is having that conversation about how can you say, as a black man, your viralness sometimes can be a little bit much for people. So you may be in the mood a lot more times than the woman that you're with if she's from another country.
Okay.
Especially when they're older.
I see. Okay. Interesting. Thank you, bro. Next question for you, brother, is, so you said that Nagoya, Japan, is very conservative. Conservative about how the women dress, so they don't show much skin. They wear long skirts, I'm assuming, which is great, which is what I love, brother. Can we find a virgin there, a woman in Nagoya, Japan, brother? Because I'm interested in a virgin woman for marriage.
I'm quite sure you can, especially on the younger side. I'm not sure about the older side, but definitely on the younger side, you can definitely find them, because they don't tend to walk around here or run around here like wild. It's like any other community. Like, the younger they are, the less they're going to, be out there in the streets, because they don't really have that here. They do have other issues going on in here in Japan, and as a whole, but not just Nagoya. But also, like, they have gentlemen's clubs here, but you don't know them. You won't be able to see them unless you can read Japanese. You don't know where they are, but they tend to don't take gaijins. So you tend, like someone like me and you won't be able to go to some of these clubs because it's different, compared to what it is in the United States or UK. But you can definitely find a virgin here. It's just depending on your age group that you're looking for. You may find some older versions.
Okay, awesome, brother. And what about body count? Do they have low body counts on average, brother?
From what I've seen, yeah, definitely low body counts. And the ones that are around my wife are definitely either low body counts or, like, the only one that friend she has is not married. I don't think she has a high body count. She's not like around a bunch of men. She doesn't have like men running out of her life, but her other friend is married, and then it's just her family member that she's around. And then her other friend is already married. So yeah, so it's not like a large body count. I don't see that from the people that she hangs around. But you know what? There's always those wild girls somewhere in the city somewhere.
This is amazing, bro. This is amazing. Do you see mixed race Japanese women in Nagoya, half black, half Japanese, half white, half Japanese, half whatever, half Japanese, and how they like in terms of beauty, in terms of femininity, submissiveness, and are they checking for brothers from what you see?
I would probably see mostly half white and half Japanese. I don't see any hafus, as we call it. Don't see any half black and half Japanese. Not in this area, not in this city. If you go to Tokyo, Yokohama, Osaka, even Kyoto, you probably see that, but not here. When I went to Kyoto, I went to the Samurai Experience. I saw a young lady there who was half black and half Japanese.
Okay, and the half white, half Japanese chicks, are they beautiful? And have they shown love towards black men from what you've seen?
Oh, well, they are beautiful, but I haven't interacted with any of them because they're pretty much way younger than me. So, these are like girls, they're not young adults, and they're not here in Nagoya. That would probably be more on the, like, again, in Tokyo and Yokohama or in Osaka. You'll see them there, but you won't see them here. And to be honest, I'm one of the very few black people I know here. The other two guys I know are from Brazil, and one guy is about my shade. The other guy is like half Brazilian, half Japanese, and that's pretty much about it. Well, the one African guy, but he's here on a student visa, so he's going to college. But that's all. That's pretty much what I see. But they do have like certain festivals, like for like Caribbean festivals here, where a lot of Japanese young ladies who are into that world, especially Caribbean world, they'll do the dances and stuff like that. So you have that going on here as well. It's just in the summertime you'll see it more than. And I haven't been here during the summer. And most of the time I get is during like May, and by the time June comes around, I'm usually gone. But now I'm here permanently. I'm probably going to start seeing some of those festivals that I didn't see before.
Okay, so let me ask this, brother, right? How prevalent is black culture in Japan and in Nagoya, Japan? You're telling me there's a Caribbean festival. We all know, brother, if a woman is going to a Caribbean festival, she's checking heavy for the brothers. She wants a black dude, right?
Right.
So how big is black culture and, in general, in Nagoya, Japan, and Japan in general, brother? Damn.
Well, everybody likes to listen to our music. That's the funny part that cracks me up. Everyone likes listening to our music. We say everybody wants to be black, but nobody wants to be black. I can't tell you as far as how deep they are in the black culture because I've only been here since October. So we're gonna have after the summer. We're gonna have another chat. We're gonna do another stream where I can tell you more about stuff I've seen during the summertime because I don't see it right now because it's winter. So, okay. But again, everyone listens to our music. So everyone listens to black hip hop music or rap music.
Awesome, brother. Awesome. And brothers, keep it on topic on the live stream chat, please. Right, let's not deviate from other people. So, Bell, bro, keep it, on topic, please. All right. So, next question for you, brother, is: do you see black men dating beautiful Japanese women in Nagoya, Japan?
I've seen a couple of other black men dating Japanese or married to Japanese women here in Nagoya. And they may have been
good looking.
Yeah.
Are they good looking?
The women? Yeah. Oh yeah, they're definitely good looking. Well, yes, and most women here, if they're Japanese, they're thin. If they're Korean, they're a little bit thicker. If they're Thai, they're a little thicker. I've seen some beautiful Thai women here. I mean, about 5'1" to 5'3". Oh, great size. I've seen some beautiful Vietnamese women here as well. Same thing. But the Japanese women usually are shorter, but they're very delicate, or they're tall and thin. They're not overweight. And trust me, the food here, I've lost weight since I've been eating food here. The food is much different. They can be very delicate, very, I guess if we say submissive, very tender. They can, they speak in a way that makes you, they will melt you, just by the way they're speaking. It just depends on the one you grab and the one you're dealing with, and and how you approach them.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah, somebody mentioned Paul Mooney.
Sugar, I think I need me a Japanese girl again. I don't know what's going on with me now. Now I'm Team Japan right now, because I'm hearing this. Like, I want that softness in my life, bro. I want that femininity. I want that submissiveness in my life, brother. I want that from a chick. And right. Japanese women, damn, they offer that, but I'm scared about the cheating culture. I'm scared about being disrespected. It's crazy, bro. I think I need that. I need that, bro. Damn.
Well, you tend to won't get that, but I would say if you can find a half Japanese, half black, and whether that's from the United States or from Africa, that's a diamond right there. What I found is, like, when I talk to women like that who are half Japanese, half black, they are definitely sweet as all outdoors, because they have been raised differently. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Hold on, brother. All right. Let's have a segment here about half black, half Japanese woman. This is amazing, brother. So you're telling me, right, brother, half black, half Japanese women offer the best of both worlds. Culturally, the African culture, the black culture, and the Japanese culture mixed together, like the Dragon Ball Z, Majin Buu, and Goku fusion, creates the best looking and the best figure of a Japanese woman, the half black, half Japanese woman. They're the chosen one for brothers. Break it down for me, brother.
Oh yeah, and that's if they're raised here, and then you also get the half Japanese and half Brazilian. That's another combination that's off the hook, because Brazilian women are mixed with pretty much everything. So you get a half Japanese and half Brazilian, or a woman that's from Brazil that is Japanese. Oh man, that's
Lord.
Yeah, you get the beauty and the submissiveness and the femininity all wrapped into one of those beautiful bodies from Brazil. And if you've been to Brazil, you know what I'm talking about.
Brother, break down what has been your interactions, right, with half Japanese, half Brazilian women, from your experience and from other brothers' experience. What has been your interaction, your experience, right, with speaking with a half Japanese, half Brazilian woman in Nagoya, Japan? How are they literally a Japanese woman with femininity, submissiveness, but trapped in a Brazilian body? That's crazy.
Yeah, only saw or spoke to one in Tokyo, but I've spoken to like the husbands of these women here, but also seen them when I went to Rio. So I've seen them in Rio. Yes, Rio is trouble.
Oh, okay. So, brother, a Brazilian woman has beautiful curves with big butts, nice chest. I keep it PG, right? Beautiful face. You take that body and you put the Japanese mind into it. It's sort of like Ghost in the Shell, right? You got the anime Ghost in the Shell. I'm not sure if brothers have seen it, right? You get the mentality. you got the mentality of a Japanese woman, right? You take her shell and her ghost and put that into a mixed race Japanese and Brazilian body, and you've got a Japanese woman in a banging body. Is that what we should expect, brother?
Yeah, you can expect that.
Lord,
you can expect that, and you're not talking about somebody who's going to be overweight. You're not talking about somebody who's going to be disproportionate in their body. You have the problem in Brazil where they get implants for their chest and all that stuff. You won't have that issue. Not a lot of them do that kind of thing. But you're getting the best of both worlds. But if she's raised here in Japan, it's definitely the one you want. And if she's raised in Brazil, if she's raised in a traditional Japanese household, you'll get the best of both worlds.
Lord have mercy. Lord, oh my goodness, I need me a Japanese Brazilian, please. Or at least I need me a half black, half Japanese chick, please, Lord, please.
And I didn't realize how many Japanese Brazilians were here in Japan until I got here. And when I found out the history of the Japanese going to Japan or Japanese going to Brazil and that whole scenario, how that happened, but a lot of them, do come back and forth. I didn't realize how many were already back here in Japan. And man, it's again, if you're here and you're in the right areas and the right spaces where you can meet them, yeah, I would definitely recommend that combination.
So they're not much in Nagoya, they're mostly in Tokyo.
Yeah, mostly in Tokyo. The guys who I met here in Nagoya, they pretty much were, they're here with their wives, but they were pretty much here working for like Toyota and places like that. So,
Wow.
they may not have been here permanently, they're probably here for a while to do some training and then they're going to leave. But again, like, in Nagoya and also in Tokyo and other cities where everything is very dense. So everything is all apartments and condos and stuff like that. So you get a lot of people living all on top of each other. So it's not like spread out. So there could be a ton of different people in these apartment complexes that you don't even know they're there because you don't see them as much unless you're out walking around. And that's one of the things I try to do. I try to just get out the house and just walk. I do more walking now than I've ever done in the past 20 years. And I just grab my dog and we go do her walk. And we're like, okay, we're going to go this way. And we'll walk about 3 or 4 miles just to see what we can see. And, if I was single, yeah, I would definitely use that dog as my catchphrase.
Wow.
So she
amazing.
would definitely help me pick up. But yeah, but it's like I'm married, so I can't do anything.
So I got 2 more questions for you, bro, before I open up the phone lines. Next question for you, brother, is so what conversations did you have before marrying a Japanese woman? And what's your advice for brothers who want to marry a Japanese woman? What conversations must be had before putting a ring on her? Break it down for us, bro.
I don't think we had those kind of conversations where I had to have the conversation. I think we talked about everything. So I kind of explained my past, she explained her past. We kind of understood exactly where each other were coming from. And then we just, she realized, okay, well, this is the person I want to be with. I realized this is the person I want to be with, and I proposed to her. But I would definitely, have an honest conversation about what you want, what you want in a relationship, where you want to go, and also the conversation about children. When and when do you want to have children? Because when we first got married, my wife didn't want to have children at that point in time. It's not until after we were married she wanted to have children, and then she realized the age thing hit her. She was too old to have kids. So you can definitely want to have that conversation. So you marry someone who's like 10 years younger, make sure that they do want to have children and you have children in the right time frame.
Beautiful. Thank you, brother. And divorce, right? Hopefully this doesn't happen to you, bro. But
Right.
let's say if a foreign black man divorces a Japanese woman in Japan, are divorce laws favorable towards a man or favorable towards the Japanese woman?
It's favorable toward the man. Divorce
Even if
here
you're
is
Western,
favorable toward the man.
even if you're a Western black man.
Even if you're a Western black man, it's still favorable. Laws are different.
Okay.
Yeah, laws are different. My wife's cousin, he's divorced, even though she got custody, but it's still favorable toward him.
Okay. And she was Japanese.
She's Japanese, yeah. They're both Japanese.
Okay, I see. Interesting. Okay. Yo, this is amazing.
Yeah, nothing for divorce, but yeah, if I get divorced, I'm just letting you know right now, I'm going over to Thailand. Me and Richie Mack gonna be like Richie Mack gonna be really good friends.
Let me ask this, brother, right? Feminism.
Mm-hmm.
Is that becoming a problem in Japan amongst the women?
Nope.
From what you've seen or heard?
Nope. It's not from where I'm sitting, it's not a problem. Now they may talk about it amongst themselves where I don't hear it, but no, women here are very feminine. They dress very feminine. And from their attitudes I've seen, they're definitely feminine. They get that training at home.
Wow. Do you ever see women wearing like mini skirts, showing their skin, showing their cleavage? Oh, and is that common?
not really cleavage, but I see the mini skirts and the short shorts. But that's usually the younger females. That's
Oh,
usually just the younger female, not your over 20, 21, 22-year-old females. Usually younger females because they're trying to dress to impress. They usually get younger boyfriends.
okay. They want to show their boyfriends that they're attractive.
Right. But
Okay.
yeah, but not only that, but they also have that child mentality. They try to act like little. It's just a thing between Japanese men and Japanese women. They try to act like little girls all the time. And I've
Okay.
been trying to figure that thing out with Japanese men. They like that infant.
Kawaii stuff, right?
Yeah. They're like, I need a woman. I need you to be able to talk like a woman. Sorry.
Okay. So I need me. I'm not allowing my chick to be wearing any mini skirts, not showing her skin. Can I put
Right.
that? Can I put that rule in her life? I will she accept that, bro?
Yeah. You don't want someone like that, especially when they talk about the gaijin chasers and stuff like that. You don't want that kind of woman. You know, you definitely want. And when I say conservative, I mean she understands that her femininity, her body, and all that. Is not for to be shown off like like a Christmas display. So you don't get a lot of that here in Nagoya. They are definitely feminine and they're definitely covered up. Sometimes
Awesome.
even a little bit too much for my wife. She's like, "Well, you're just so covered up." Like, yeah,
Amazing. And last question, brother, is in regards to rap culture. Um, how bad is it? How bad is the rap culture amongst the young Japanese women and young Japanese men to the point where you got young Japanese dudes tagging their pants? Not news I want to hear.
I said if you go from a 1 to 10, I say it's about a 1. You don't see it often here. The guy I saw was like after months or years I've been here, he's the first person I've seen dressed like that. I'm like, what in the world is this? But as far as they listen to rap music, they listen to R&B music. Um, they have a lot of karaoke shops here and stuff like that. But you don't see a lot of the hardcore rap culture here. That's my wife's bird screaming. But yeah, you
Bird,
don't see that here.
you got a bird.
Yeah, she has a bird. Hold on, I am going to stop.
All right. Hey, brother, this is a classic, man. Please hit the PayPal, hit the super chats. And Neil Brown, be respectful to our guests in the chat, or I'm gonna put you on timeout. Okay, brothers, hit the PayPal, hit the super chat. Another classic, man. This has been a crazy stream. Another classic. I told you, brothers, man. I'll never let you brothers down, man. And if you have any questions, please, you must hit the PayPal or hit the super chats to get your questions read out. Okay, support, man. It takes hours setting this kind of streams up. Awesome. So, brother, last question, right?
Well,
From me.
I'll give you a little hint about the bird. My bird is inherited from my wife's mom. The bird is afraid of cranes.
Cranes or trains?
Cranes, as in
What?
construction cranes.
Yes.
Yeah, she's afraid of construction cranes. It's
Interesting.
yeah, she screams like that, like someone's trying to kill her. So you have to pull the curtains in.
Is it a parrot or a
It's
bird?
a version of a parrot, cockatoo, but it's more version of a bigger version of a parrot.
Awesome. Thank you, bro.
Mhm.
You mentioned that R&B and rap music is popular in Japan. How popular is it on a scale of 1 to 10?
I would say it's probably about a 7, but the culture and the clothing is not. They do wear a lot of baggy stuff, but I would equate the younger people when they dress. It's more like looking at someone dressing like they've been watching Bleach, the cartoon.
Yeah, classic.
Yeah, or some type of ninja movie. Yeah, sometimes they wear these long, um, what is those long coats or like a long shawls or whatever. They wear that a lot. It's like a mix between modern and old school samurai, kimono type, whatever it is. So they wear those a lot and like the big baggy pants and stuff like that. So it's
Awesome.
kind of
Thank you,
interesting.
bro.
Yeah.
All right, so I've opened up the phone lines there, Indy. This was a great stream. Thank you, brother, for the intel you dropped. Living in Japan, dating there, being married to a Japanese woman, amazing. So, brothers, call in if you want to have any questions for our guests. So, while we wait for our first caller, brother, So you're
Okay.
saying, brother, in 2023, Nagoya, Japan is a great place for black men to live and move to without any
Oh yeah.
problems.
And the good thing is that they're building that new train system for the bullet train to get you from here to Tokyo or here to Osaka in like 45 minutes. It's a great middle area to be in. And it's like, it's a great area to be in as far as, just the culture, understanding Japanese culture. Because I've been to a lot of places, especially a lot of the castles around here. Just understanding, how their society is structured, as Theo said, it's like, if you're here by yourself, you know, learning how to make it in this area, learning how to, to structure your life in this area is a good thing for, for black man if he's coming here. I would definitely recommend it. I'm trying to get my son to come here, but he's already connected.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, bro. All right, so brothers, call in, brothers, call in, call in. Um, Amazing stream. If you have any questions and you can't call in, you must hit the PayPal and hit the super chats. Okay, this has been a classic live stream. Calling brothers, all right, about life in Nagoya, being married to a Japanese woman, the culture there. Classic, bro. Absolute classic. Wow. Amazing. Damn.
Yeah,
Japan is very go on, bro.
Yasuke? Who's that?
Yasuke Rameshi from Yu Yu Hakusho. Call in, bro. Call in, man. Don't be shy. We don't bite. If you want your questions, what you're asking, I see why the black woman of the world want to. I'm gonna block you. No, you come here as a troll, trying to cause division here. Go back to your BW
Who's
hub,
Noel?
okay?
Noel
Yeah, you
Brown?
want to see? Yeah, talking nonsense, man. Talking nonsense, man.
Yeah,
Absolute
it is
nonsense.
nonsense. First of
It's
all, they
funny.
can't kick
Like,
our ass.
what was
First
that,
of all,
bro?
they can't kick our ass. So what are you talking about?
I mean, like, you know, we are not the black men that black women want in the West. So leave us alone. If you want to travel to find love, what's the problem? You want to date Pookie, Tyrone, thugs, dudes who kill other black men, who have tattoos, who are thugs. Let them date that. We're cool with that. So brothers who are educated, let us go and date abroad. Leave us alone. We will no longer be your cleanup men. We will no longer, right? We will no longer be the dudes that you can just exploit and use us and talk down on us because we're nerdy, because we watch anime, because we read manga, because we're nerds. No
Because we
more.
speak English.
Because we speak English.
Because we
Because we don't
speak
say the
English.
N word. Because we don't
Yeah.
say the N word. Because we don't behave like thugs. Because we don't have 10 baby mamas. Because we don't rap. Because we don't sag our pants. We will no longer be the cleanup men for you, woman in the West, no more. You can rot in the West. All you Pookie Rares and Tyrons and all you women who have high body counts in the West, you belong with each other. But conservative black men like me and like the brother Indy, we're going to take our talents abroad to women who really want us, who appreciate educated black men like us, who work in IT. And that's why I'm telling you, brothers, get into IT, join the Patreon Platinum tier. Me and India are going to speak about life IT in Japan for the Patreon finances there. I'm telling you, brothers, man. I'm telling you, IT is the best move you'll make in your entire life. Are you
Exactly.
going to make that change? Join that Patreon Platinum tier. Let's have that consultation, brothers, because IT gives you that freedom. He's in Japan right now, working IT, living a great life. He isn't a lawyer. He isn't a doctor. He isn't some finance dude. He works in IT, brothers. Okay, so join the Patreon platinum tier. Let me help you out, man. Okay, awesome. So brothers, call in, man. Don't be shy. Okay, if no one calls in the next 5-10 minutes, we're gonna end the stream early. Indie, it's almost at 2 hours, and this has been a great conversation, brother.
Oh yeah.
Okay, classic, man.
Oh
Another
yeah.
classic for you, brothers, man. We got more classics than Nas albums. We got more classics than Kanye West albums. We got more classics than whatever stuff you want to compare us to, brothers. Okay, so please come and support. Okay, you got 10 minutes. Call in or ask a question. You want to say something else, Indy?
Yeah, I'm going to say that the one we're going to do tonight on IT, I give you guys my history of how of my career. I'm not going to say job of my career, and I'm going to probably get a little real in that conversation about our plight in IT, in technology, in programming, software engineering. It's just a question of how deep you want to go, because I'm going to go deep into this situation with
Very
that I
deep, bro.
in IT.
Please, we want the whole 9 yard, brother. Please.
Yeah.
It's
So
gonna be
definitely
a
call in.
classic.
If you guys have a question, call in. I mean, just we can talk about anything.
Call in, brothers. Call in. Don't be shy. We don't bite. Okay. I think I answered all the questions, bro. I think I asked all the incredible questions. You know, I told you I wasn't playing tonight, brothers. I wasn't playing no games tonight, man. This year
Exactly.
we're gonna go ham. Okay, I'm gonna give you brothers all the information that you brothers need. Okay. Let me now check the. So, brother, you got 10 minutes to call in, and we shall end this stream. So make sure you join the Patreon to get more information. Okay, that would greatly help you out. So who's here? All right. So
Do women lie a lot? No, but women lie, but it can't make it a monolith. Question is, does your woman lie a lot?
all right. So I think no one's gonna call in, bro.
Okay.
I think it's been a great stream. So thank you very much, Indy.
No
Appreciate
problem.
you, brother, for your time here, and look forward to speaking to you later on today, brother.
All right. Same here.
Peace out, brother. Thank you very
Peace.
much. All right, brothers, you've missed that chance to speak with Indy. Oh man, Michael Watkins, bro. Indy, you still there, brother? Dang, Michael. He's gone now, bro. Dang. Appreciate Michael Watkins for the $99 super chat. Could you explain at what point in your career you felt confident to take on a wife? Thanks. Man, bro, he's gone. Dang. He's gone, bro. Man. Brother. Sorry, man, but he's gone. I don't think he's gonna join again. Michael Watkins. Apologies, bro. But he's gone now because no one was calling in. And he's obviously a very busy man in Japan. Dang. All right. Thank you, Michael, for the support. Appreciate you, brother. It has to be a next time, okay, brother? Thank you very much, bro. So, great stream, brothers. Great stream. Let me speak on for another 8 more minutes, and we'll cross out the time mark. So, brothers, please support me, man. So support me more. I've done many great streams so far this year, so please support. Hit the super chats and of course hit the PayPal. The PayPal is, will allow me to get more support because it usually takes a 45% cut. So please support. If you have dealt with both Thai and Filipino women, please reach out to me on Instagram and follow me on Instagram right now, brothers. That'd be greatly appreciated. Make sure you subscribe to my new channel, International Passport Clips. Okay, for behind the scenes intel and clips on this channel, on that channel. Okay, here's a link to my new YouTube channel. Here's a link to my Twitter, so please follow me on Twitter and show me love on Twitter, brothers. Okay. And of course, man, here's a Facebook group. And brothers, please, cop the merch, show me some support. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you very much, brothers. Okay, always show me support and love. I'd greatly appreciate it. Here's a link to my Patreon, which has everything you need: IT, building wealth, intel on foreign women abroad, how to get down with brothers in the bedroom. The Patreon is amazing. Okay. And that's pretty much it, brothers. Okay, so I will see you brothers on the next video. Be easy, brothers, be easy. It's going to be the best year of our lives in 2023. I'll be starting the Python course again. Okay, so press A1 in the chat if you want to be a part of the Python course. I'm currently teaching a Python course. I'll be accepting new students again very soon. I'm setting the agenda. Okay, that will be part of a Patreon tier where you join it, and if you're serious about IT, you get your IT career started. So press A1 if you're going to be interested in that. Brothers, you got to get out there, brothers. You got to get out there. You know, don't just watch my content. I want to see you brothers out there living life with the foreign woman of your dreams, brothers. Okay, okay. You can do it, brothers. We can do it, brothers. 2023 will be our year. Okay. I've got a few PayPal donations. Let me check it out right now. Let me see. Someone donated to me on PayPal. That's much appreciated. Awesome, man. Let me go on my PayPal right now. Brothers, support me on the PayPal, man. If you don't have an account on PayPal, create an account right now, man. Show me some love. Okay? Show me some love on the PayPal, man. Please. It's hard work having a YouTube channel. It's not easy getting these interviews done. Notice how I'm the only person on YouTube that has these kind of in-depth interviews. It ain't easy speaking with brothers to come on the channel and drop game. This is game that many brothers want to keep to themselves. Many brothers I've approached don't want other brothers blowing up their spot. So show me some love, man. Support me, man. We'll greatly appreciate it, brothers. Right, cool. Hold on, brothers. Let me see. Let me log into PayPal and let me see who's supporting me. It is much appreciated, brothers. Sorry for language. Hold on, brothers. Awesome, brothers. We're almost there, brothers. All right, hold on, brothers, yeah? All right, let's see who's supporting me. Let's see who's supporting me right now. All right, shout out to Mr. Come on, man, stupid laptop. Shout out to Mr. Lin for the £8 PayPal donation. Thank you, Lin. He says here, appreciate all the info IP. Black men need to know the best options. Yes, indeed, man. Lin, appreciate the support, brother. It means a lot to me. Thank you very much, bro. Thank you so much, man. Awesome. So I'm managing 3 more minutes. Got 3 minutes to hit the PayPal, hit the super chats. Support, man. Support. Okay? Support, brothers. Oh, is that so, Abu? Okay. I'll look into that, bro. Abu, send me a DM on Instagram, bro. Cause okay, bro. Would appreciate that. Also, you too as well, Yusuke Urameshi. Send me a DM on Instagram as well. Again, if you've dealt with both Filipino women and Thai women, please send me a DM on Instagram. I want to know your experience dealing with both of them. That'd be greatly appreciated. Okay. Again, the Patreon has everything you need to succeed in this Passport Bros game. Okay. All right. You can do it, brothers. You can do it. Okay, brother. One more minute, brothers. Where's everyone listening in from? What country? What city and country are you brothers listening in from? How international is this movement? What city and country are you brothers listening in from? We got Johnny out there in Portland, Oregon. Appreciate you, Johnny. Showstopper from Ottawa, Canada. Bala Jala from Louisville, Kentucky. Amazing. Amazing. Ah. We got Mikhail Webb in Phoenix, Arizona. Amazing. Bass Pill Clips in New Orleans, Louisiana. Ah. Amazing. What's up, Chosen Tin? I see you, bro. Looking forward to speaking to you on Sunday, brother. Dr. Alex, Dr. Doom in North Carolina, USA. Ooh. International, man. Amazing. Any brothers from Australia, Canada, you know, the UK? How international? Stay logged in. Don't sign me out. All right. Shout out to Mr. Let's see. Got another PayPal donation. Shout out to Mr. Yama. Appreciate you, Yama, for the support for the £7.83 PayPal donation. Thank you very much, Yama, for the support. Much love and appreciation to you, bro. Thank you very much. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, where the UK brothers at, man? Support. I don't think a lot of UK brothers watch the channel, bro. They're not on this passport, bro, movement, which is a shame, brother. Which is a big shame. Shout out to Mr. Ernest. He's out there in Byron, Mississippi. LP in Los Angeles, California. P in Vallejo, California. Fantastic, man. Wow. Shout out to my American brothers. Big time. Big time. Amazing. Amazing, man. Yeah. Who else is in the building? What city? Anyone from Australia, Canada, New Zealand? Any other Western countries? A lot of US brothers supporting Heavy 5P will hold you down. But yes, indeed, man. Shout out to my US brothers, man. Appreciate the support, brothers. I have a lot of respect for Black American men. I've met many in my travels. Awesome brothers. That's why I respect them heavy. I won't tolerate any disrespect towards Black American men. Anyone doing that, that will result in a ban. Shout out to Dems Wood. Yes, Dems Wood in the building. Yes. Where you been at, Dems Wood, man? You've been sleeping, dreaming about ablations? We miss you, bro. Hey, shout out to Dems Wood, bro. And hopefully we speak, but we're meant to speak on Saturday. I just remembered now, but let me know when you want to speak on Sunday, bro. Dems Wood, I'll make time for you, brother. Okay. Awesome, brother. So I'm gonna end the stream right now. Thank you, brothers, for the support, for the love, for the appreciation, for watching. And I will see you, brothers, on the next video. Thank you, brothers. Peace out.